Robert James Smith was born in Blackpool, Lancashire on the 21st of April 1959, the third of 4 children of Rita Mary and James Alexander Smith. He came from a musical family. His father sang and his mother played the piano. Raised as a Catholic, he later became an atheist. When he was 3 years old, his family moved to Horley, Surrey, where he attended St Francis Primary School. When he was 6, his family moved to Crawley West Sussex, where he attended St Francis Junior School. He later attended Notre Dame Middle School from 1970 to 1972, and St Wilfrid's Comprehensive School from 1972 to 1977. He and his younger sister Janet received piano lessons as children. Smith said Janet was a piano prodigy, so sibling rivalry made me take up guitar because she couldn't get her fingers around the neck. He told Chris Heath of Smash Hits that from about 1966 his brother Richard, who is 13 years older, taught him a few basic chords on guitar. Smith began taking classical guitar lessons from the age of 9 with a student of John Williams, who he said was a really excellent guitarist. He gave up formal tuition and began teaching himself to play by ear, listening to his older brother's record collection. He was 13 or 14 when he became more serious about rock music and started to play and learn frenetically. Smith described Notre Dame Middle School as a very free-thinking establishment with an experimental approach of freedom he claims to have abused. On one occasion he said that he wore a black velvet dress to school and kept it on all day because the teachers just thought, oh, it's a phase he's going through, he's got some personality crisis, let's help him through it. According to Smith, 4 other kids beat him up after school, although Jeff Apter notes that Smith has given several conflicting versions of the story. Apter also reports that Smith put in minimal effort at Notre Dame, sufficient enough to pass tests, and quotes Smith as saying if you were crafty enough, you could convince the teachers you were special. St Wilfrid's was reportedly stricter than Notre Dame. In the summer of 1975, Smith and his school bandmates took their O-levels, but only he and Michael Dempsey stayed on to attend 6th form at St Wilfrid's from 1976 to 1977. Smith has said that his first band when he was 14 consisted of himself, his brother Richard, their younger sister Janet, and some of Richard's friends. He remarked it was called the Crawley Goat Band. Brilliant. While the Crawley Goat Band may have been Smith's first regular group, he would have been just 13 when he and his Notre Dame schoolmates gave their first one-off performance together as the Obelisk, an early incarnation of what would eventually become The Cure. The Obelisk featured Smith alongside Mark Chicagno, Michael Dempsey, Alan Hill and Lawrence Tolhurst, and according to The Cure's official biography 10 Imaginary Years, gave their only performance at a school function in April 1972. Jeff Apter dates the performance to April 1973, which is at variance with Smith and his bandmates having already left Notre Dame Middle School by this time. During the latter part of 1972, the nucleus of Smith, Chicagno, Dempsey and Tolhurst had gone on to secondary school together at St Wilfrid's Comprehensive, where they and their friends continued playing music together. Smith said that they were known simply as the group because it was the only one at school, so we didn't need a name. Dempsey, who eventually moved from guitar to bassist for the group, said that another name they toyed with was the Brats Club, a reference to Evelyn Waugh's A Handful of Dust. Smith was also not the sole songwriter or lyricist in the group during their early years. The band name Easy Cure came from a song penned by Lol Tolhurst, while Grinding Halt began as a Tolhurst lyric that Smith shortened to the first half of each line. Easy Cure condensed its name to The Cure shortly afterwards. During 1978, Smith composed and recorded demo versions of some of The Cure's definitive early songs on his sister Janet's Hammond organ with a built-in tape recorder, including 10:15 Saturday Night. By the time the NME interviewed the band in October 1979 during their tour with Susie and the Banshees, Smith was acknowledged as the principal writer of almost all of The Cure's songs and lyrics, and stated that he was uncomfortable playing and singing songs that weren't his own. Following his return from the Banshees tour, Smith also composed most of the music for the album 17 Seconds using the Hammond, a drum machine, and his trademark Top 20 Woolworths guitar. During a home demo session in his parents' basement, most of the lyrics had been written in one night in Newcastle. In 1980, Michael Dempsey left the band and Simon Gallup, a bass guitarist, and Matthew Hartley, a keyboardist, joined the group. This was when Robert along with his band released their third album 17 Seconds, with their single A Forest becoming a hit. From July 1982 to February 1985, Smith had to shoulder the entire recording process of The Cure. He released the solo album The Top in 1984, where Smith played all the instruments by himself except the drums. Disintegration, the 1989 album released by the band, featured at number 3 in the UK Music Countdown and number 12 in the US Music Countdown, with 3 of its songs featuring in the top 30 list in UK and Germany. Wish, the 9th album by The Cure, was released in 1992 and featured popular hits High and Friday I'm in Love. Throughout the new millennium, Smith recorded new albums with The Cure. These include Bloodflowers in 2000, The Cure in 2004, and 413 Dream in 2008. From 2010 to 2012, he started to perform solo and also collaborated with a number of other artists working on solo covers such as Frank Sinatra's Witchcraft and Very Good Advice from Alice in Wonderland.